Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show. And now, here's Jeff Crilley.
Welcome back to the Jeff Crilley Show. This is Sarah Crilley, and I'm really excited to have Nick Oberheiden on the show. He is a law firm that does federal, civil, and criminal cases. Welcome to the Jeff Crilley Show, Nick.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Good morning. So really excited to have you on the show and find out a little bit more about what makes you unique with your law group, and also you're from Germany.
Yes, that's correct. I was born and raised in Germany and finished law school overseas and came to the United States with the idea to stay a couple of months, and 15 years, 2 children, 2 law degrees, and a PhD later, I'm still here.
You're still here.
I'm still here, and I am proud to call myself a Texan now.
I have to ask you this. You've been here for 15 years. Have you learned to say the word squirrel, or is that just a myth that Germans can't say squirrel?
There are quite a few words we shouldn't say, shouldn't pronounce, and that would be among them, so I don't want to try it on air.
Well, welcome to Texas. We're glad to have you.
Thank you so much.
So, Nick, tell us about the Oberheiden Law Group, and I apologize before we came back from break. I wasn't pronouncing your last name right. Let's get it right. Oberheiden Group.
Let's all practice together.
Yeah.
Yes, the Oberheiden. So the Oberheiden Law Group is a Dallas litigation firm that assists clients in civil and federal, federal civil and federal criminal proceedings here in DFW in Texas, and at this point, virtually across the United States.
That's fantastic. And what is the typical client that you have?
A number of our clients are individuals. We represent a great number of physicians here, but in Dallas, Texas, but also in a number of other states. And then huge healthcare companies. That is certainly a big piece of our representations, our clients that approach us in times of crisis that were seeing themselves as targets of federal investigations led by the Department of Defense or the Department of Justice or the FBI or similar law enforcement agencies. Those clients call us and want to benefit from our expertise. We have a number of former senior Department of Justice trial attorneys, well-respected former federal and former state prosecutors and experienced litigators on our team, and we are always happy to help those clients.
And I love that you just touched on your team. Can you tell me what your philosophy is?
That's an interesting question. I don't know if I have a philosophy, but if there is one aspect about my the way I interpret my job, it could be summarized in the term of perhaps determined diplomacy. And what I want to say with this is we are diplomatic and respectful, but at the same time, we are determined. We want to get the job done. We don't flaunt how aggressive we are or how much we fight for our clients. That's implicitly understood. We really care about the relationship we have with prosecutors here in Dallas and beyond. I have great admirations for those guys, and I have great admiration for co-counsel and opposing counsel. We don't need to be aggressive. We just need to be successful.
Absolutely. And you did put in here in some of the questions, because I had asked you to, kind of prep me a little bit. What does it take to, what does it require to be a federal attorney, in your opinion?
I think the first and foremost feature is to care. I care. I really care about my clients. I do not want my clients to go to jail, and I do not want my clients to lose a litigation. Every client that approaches us is important to me, and I don't just say that. Every single case that comes through the door is my next new most important case, because it is the most important case for that client. And if I may add anything in terms of features, a lot of the cases we handle occur in times of crisis. So perhaps another feature to develop if you are in that business is to remain calm and analytical and respectful when emotions are flying high. And once again, we are all in one legal community, and while prosecutors or opposing counsel may have a different agenda, we believe as a firm philosophy that it's important to respect them no matter how important or how massive the investigation or litigation or allegations are. And if you allow me to add this, the prosecutors and judges here in North Texas doing this job right now in 35 different states, I really have to say among the finest you can find in this country.
Well, I can really hear your passion, and I wish that our guests could see you because you really do light up. And these are very serious cases that you take on, and I know that it's so important to you. Tell me what you enjoy about your job, because I can feel your passion, but specifically what you really enjoy, and when you go to sleep at night, think, wow, I really did a great job serving my clients today with my team.
I would say that I don't even consider it a job or work. I'm so excited to get up in the morning, and I never know what happens between breakfast and dinner. And that's an exciting feature. Clients may approach us because they were just arrested by the U.S. Marshals or by the FBI, and then we need to help. It's what I call the acute care surgery. And then there are clients that approach us that want to consult with us, which I would call the elective surgery, if you allow the analogy to the medical field. So I really never know who is going to call and what is going to happen, and that excites me every single day.
I think that's so great. And can you share with us maybe what one of your most important cases has been?
As I said earlier, I really don't distinguish between smaller, bigger, or important, unimportant cases. Every single person that approaches us deserves the best lawyer and the best service. So we want to maximize and optimize our clients' position and accomplish their goals, no matter how small or how big the case is.
And also share with me, why Dallas?
That's a long story that may exceed the time we have here on air.
I think we do have another 5 minutes.
So the last 15 years were not really the way I planned them, and I moved from Germany to Los Angeles and to New York, and then I started a business here in Dallas a couple of years ago, and then founded the law firm, the Oberheiden Law Group. And once I was here, there was just no way to go anywhere else.
Really? And why?
Really. I have lived in a number of countries, more than 10.
Wow.
And,
which countries? You got to tell us.
I got to tell you, I have lived or spent significant time, I should say, obviously in Germany and in Brazil, in the United States, in Italy, and the Netherlands, and I could go on and on. I studied law in a number of countries. I helped prosecute war crimes for the United Nations. That made me stay in another country for 6 months. So I have been around the block, so to speak, and I really appreciate being here in Dallas and in Texas.
And tell us, Nick, what do you do for fun here?
What do I do for fun? I have two children, and my older daughter, she's 6 years. She asked me to mention her name, if I may. Her
Please
name is
do.
Logan Grace, and I have a 10-month-old daughter. Her name is Evelyn. And so those two, and certainly my fiance, keep me busy and distract me also from focusing on things besides work. So this is really what I do for fun, spending time with my family. Unfortunately, not all family members are in this country, but we have my parents visit next week, so it's this time of the year we all get together. We see each other quite a few times, and that's certainly exciting to do, and to come home at night too, and see the kids play together.
I think that's fantastic. And I know that, too, your kids must be so proud of you because they know that you're probably working all the time, but that, Dad has a very important job. And that they understand that. Do they understand?
Yes, and I really want to carve out time for them, not just on weekends or take them to bed at night. I try to maximize my time with my children, with my family. So while every case that I handle professionally is important, every client also understands that I have a family too. So balancing this is one of my greatest challenges, but I think I'm doing okay. At least I'm trying.
That's really important to have that work-life balance. My boyfriend's an attorney, and I hear all the time about attorneys who just work from morning to night, and they don't have any type of life. And it almost seems like they hate their job, but they love doing it. So I think it's really commendable that you've made this time for your family, and it's important to you.
Yes, it is. And I never once said, I can say that without exaggeration, I never woke up one day and said, I don't want to do this today and I cannot think of anything else to do but helping clients in federal, civil, and criminal litigation.
And it's important to make them feel really comfortable. It's scary to be sued or under investigation. And it's like you said, even the small ones can be just as scary to somebody who's never been through the court system before.
Yeah, that's a very valid point. For me, it's these are cases that I do for a living, helping clients. But every client that comes in for these type of, let's say, a FBI investigation or an investigation by the Department of Defense, this is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. And yes, as I said earlier, emotions can fly high, and my job is to remain calm and analytical and find solutions to solve the problem.
So tell us where people can find you on the internet or where they can call you and get a hold of you.
The main site is fairly catchy. I hope it's criminaldefense.com. And the phone number to reach me directly would be 214-469-9009.
Thank you so much, Nick, with the Oberheiden Law Group. And don't go away with the Jeff Crilley Show, because I'm going to let Samantha Knight introduce them. It's the Dallas Society of Visual Communications Group, and she's a member, so I can't wait to find out. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Jeff Crilley Show on Talk Radio 1190.